Howdy friendos, my name is Stuart, and welcome to another Star Wars video. We've covered classic characters like Boba Fett and new characters like Rey, Kylo Ren, Mando, Baby Yoda, and if you haven't checked out those videos, please do. They're really fun to make, and there's a lot to talk about in a galaxy far, far away. Today is especially important though, as we'll be looking at our first prequel era character. And no, I haven't forgotten about our Cad Bane from my Boba Fett video. My team is working through a lot of Star Wars to get through some big characters that people are curious about, and Cad is on the docket, so please continue to be patient, and we want to offer as many different characters as possible, but Cad is definitely going to be one of those. With a new Star Wars series here with Obi-Wan Kenobi, I figured it'd be safe to start off with Obi's master, Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon is interesting as he has a small number of appearances, but via a lot of retconning and side stories. He's been one of the more influential characters from the Jedi. Plus, since we're talking about Qui-Gon, we also got to touch on some subjects that we've somehow managed not to talk about yet. Also, be sure to press that like and subscribe button. Commenting will also do us really well, and ring the bell, do all those things that YouTubers are asking to do. So, Qui-Gon Jinn, a human force user born on Coruscant. Qui-Gon was trained by Count Dooku as a Jedi and one of the peacekeepers of the Galactic Republic. And while he was very adept at the Force, Qui-Gon has a thing about rules and regulations. It's been said that he's broken several of them based on his own feelings or his faith in the Force. And while he was offered the rank of Jedi Master and a seat on the Council, Qui-Gon denied this to continue teaching his apprentice, Obi-Wan Kenobi, as Knights of the Galactic Republic. We all know Qui-Gon means well, but his belief system doesn't totally gel with the other organizations. As such, we'll actually be starting him at chaotic good. Also, small disclaimer, as of writing this, Obi-Wan has not aired yet, so we're unaware if Liam Neeson has returned to wear the Jedi robes again, so we won't be counting the series yet, because these are written and recorded way in advance, and especially if you're a member of the channel, you might have seen this before anyone else has. So, with all that out of the way, let's go. However, before we go, did you know that you can watch the next 3 alignment videos ahead of schedule by becoming a channel member, a patron, or a Twitch subscriber? Whichever one is most convenient for you, you could just go ahead and do that. Becoming any of these premium members gives you access to the next 3 alignment videos on your select platform and gives you a spot at the end credits of our alignment videos and gaming videos. Each membership also gives you access to another unique set of benefits. YouTube Premium gives you access to stickers and emojis not available anywhere else, and sometimes a 4th bonus alignment video. Patreon gives you access to monthly wallpapers, lore packets, and access to the uncut archive of our D&D campaigns. And Twitch gives you access to a different set of emote stickers and access to our entire streaming library. If you're especially ambitious and want to collect all 3 Infinity Stones of the Loading Crew, this gives you access to a special title in our Discord. It's mostly bragging rights, but hey, you're better than everyone else. Check any of the links in the description to gain access and help support the channel.
So you didn't call for me?
Well, of course we did. We need you too.
Help we need? Opening this pickle jar. You remembered how good I am at opening things. Let me at it. I have a very particular set of skills.
Sent to negotiate with the Trade Federation's blockade, Qui-Gon ignores his apprentice's bad feeling, believing negotiations will be short with the Federation. Bet he had some eggs on his face when they were gassed and nearly killed by droids, though. Neutral.
You were right about one thing, Master. The negotiations were short.
Surviving the assassination attempt, Qui-Gon tries to break through the blast doors before they are pushed back. Finding the droid army ready to invade Naboo, Qui-Gon and Obi sneak down to the surface and warn the Queen and the Senate. Neutral good. Escaping the droids, Qui-Gon saves a Gungan who swears his life to him, Jar Jar Binks. Qui-Gon tries to refuse, but soon realizes he can get aid from the Gungans. When he finds out that Jar Jar was banished, Qui-Gon convinces the Gungan to take them anyways. Chaotic neutral. Captured by Gungans, Qui-Gon begins using the Force to convince Boss Nass to let them live. He also feels pity on Jar Jar and decides to convince Boss Nass to let them go with them as a life debt. Remember folks, even if it's called a Jedi mind trick, mind control is still lawful evil.
There's always a bigger fish.
Qui-Gon and the others travel through the planet core and make it to the other side too late. Discovering that the Royals have been captured, the group ambush the droids, and with threats all around and no way to continue communicating with the Senate, Qui-Gon convinces the Queen to go with them and the others to Coruscant. Lawful good. Escaping the planet, the ship takes heavy damage. With limited options, Qui-Gon makes an executive decision to land on a Hutt-controlled planet, as they're not looking for Queen Amidala. This is against everyone's harsh disagreements. Chaotic good.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't. What, you think you're some kind of Jedi waving your hand around like that?
Qui-Gon takes Jar Jar and R2-D2 and the Queen's alleged handmaiden Padme with him on Tatooine. Going to Watto's shop, Qui-Gon finds the parts he needs and attempts to mind trick the shopkeeper to accept his money. It fails, but even if it's still to get off the planet, this is still technically lawful evil.
These are my friends, Mom.
Your son was kind enough to offer a shelter.
Stuck trying to find a way to get the money together, Qui-Gon is met by a young, unimportant kid named Anakin Skywalker.
Red flags here!
He accepts the boys' offer for shelter, but tries to hide their mission. Even when he's confronted by Anakin about being a Jedi, he lies but begins taking a fascination with the child. Chaotic neutral.
I may not like it, but he can help you. He was meant to help you.
With no available options before him, and curious about Anakin, Qui-Gon accepts the child's help, but puts the Queen's ship as collateral for a pod race. Naturally, Padme is horrified, but Qui-Gon insists that the Queen doesn't need to know. Ooh boy, hindsight was gonna make this awkward. Chaotic good.
Had he been born in the Republic, we would have identified him earlier. The Force is unusually strong with him. That much is clear.
Putting his faith in Anakin, Qui-Gon begins asking Shmi about... Shmi? Shmi? That's her name? That's actually her name. That's not a joke. Qui-Gon begins asking Shmi about Anakin's history, sensing he's strong with the Force. This includes taking a sample of his blood for infections, but in reality, he's checking his power level. Chaotic neutral.
I'll wager my new racing pod against the boy and his mother.
No pod is worth 2 slaves, not by a long shot.
The boy then.
Going rogue once again, Qui-Gon decides to gamble Anakin's pod to get Anakin and Shmi. Shmi! God, that is a name. When Watto insists that he can only have one, Qui-Gon settles for Anakin and cheats to ensure the gamble goes in his favor. Chaotic neutral.
Remember, concentrate on the moment. Feel, don't think. Use your instincts.
With some words of encouragement, Qui-Gon wishes Anakin luck and tells Padme to stop backtalking him. When Anakin wins, Qui-Gon goes to collect his parts and Anakin from Watto. When Watto tries to renegotiate on the deal, Qui-Gon threatens to get the Hutts involved. Ooh. Chaotic good.
Using yours.
Getting the parts back to the ship, Qui-Gon gives Shmi the prize money and reveals to the Skywalkers that Annie has been freed. Qui-Gon offers to take Anakin with him and become a Jedi, but doesn't sugarcoat the difficulty or that he tried to free Shmi but failed. Neutral good.
Oh my god, sir, wait, I'm tired.
Anakin, drop!
On their way back to the ship, Qui-Gon is jumped by a sudden appearance of a man using a lightsaber. Qui-Gon holds off Maul so Anakin can get on the ship before escaping with it. Lawful good.
And look over there. Senator Palpatine is waiting for us.
Arriving on Coruscant, Qui-Gon pays his respects to the Chancellor and Palpatine before reporting to the Jedi Council. He tells them about the Trade Federation and his belief that the Sith have returned after a millennia of absence. Lawful good.
A boy. His cells have the highest concentration of midi-chlorians I have seen in a life form.
After finishing with his report, Qui-Gon reveals to the Council how he believes he has found the legendary, prophesized Chosen One. While he tries to play it calmly, he's also bad about revealing his emotional attachment to the kid, believing in Anakin even as he's being tested. Qui-Gon promises to do everything he can, even if it's against the Council's wishes. Chaotic good.
No, he will not be trained.
No.
He is too old.
When the Council denies Anakin's training despite his potential, Qui-Gon decides to throw caution to the wind and put Obi-Wan up for promotion as a Jedi Knight so that he can train Anakin himself. Even Obi-Wan has a bad feeling about this. Chaotic neutral.
I don't want to be a problem.
You won't be, Annie. I'm not allowed to train you, so I want you to watch me and be mindful.
Tasked with protecting the Queen, returning to Naboo to lure out Darth Maul, Qui-Gon opts to bring Anakin with him. His whole thought process is that, while he can't teach Anakin yet, the child can learn via osmosis. Qui-Gon, I don't know why you think bringing a child, especially the prophesized child, to a war zone is a good idea, but whatever, chaotic neutral.
You've been a good apprentice, Obi-Wan, and you're a much wiser man than I am. I foresee you will become a great Jedi Knight.
Qui-Gon aids in the War Council with Padme and Boss Nass, offering insight where he can. He continues to stay at Padme's side until an unexpected visitor shows up. Lawful good. With a Nat 20 song, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan face off against Darth Maul, giving Padme the chance to capture the Viceroy. Despite his efforts, Qui-Gon is stabbed and left dying. Lawful good.
promise me you will train the boy?
Yes, Master.
He is the chosen one.
With his last breaths after Obi-Wan managed to win, Qui-Gon asks his apprentice to train Anakin, believing that he's the chosen one, chaotic neutral.
Anakin! Anakin!
Oh, wow, and now, after so many Star Wars videos, it's finally time to talk about something special within this world regards to the alignment videos, and that's Force Ghosts. Due to his sacrifice and studies of the Force, Qui-Gon was able to retain his identity within the Force. Unlike future Force Ghosts, Qui-Gon had a hard time actually manifesting himself despite several attempts and time being weird in the afterlife. As such, Qui-Gon is still going to be considered the same person with no modifiers. Qui-Gon attempts to reach out in the Force upon finding out that a now teenage Anakin is slaughtering Tusken Raiders. Unfortunately, no one is able to hear or understand who he is. His calls fall on deaf ears. Neutral good.
Obi-Wan, have you done as I asked? Have you trained the boy?
Master Qui-Gon?
When an older Anakin and Obi-Wan are transported to a realm called Mortis, Qui-Gon is able to use the Force-rich realm to materialize in front of Obi-Wan. He warns his former student about 3 individuals hoping to use Anakin, and to see if Obi not only fulfilled his promise, but believes Anakin is the chosen one. Neutral good.
You have grown strong and powerful, just as I imagined.
Master.
Qui-Gon is able to materialize again in Mortis to guide Anakin on his adventure, asking if the young man he saved so long ago believes in the prophecy. He gives Anakin some more words of guidance, but Qui-Gon fades into the Force. Neutral good.
Yoda, it is I, Qui-Gon Jinn.
That cannot be. Dead you are.
With the dark side gaining more power, Qui-Gon is finally able to reach out to Yoda and manipulate his surroundings to prove this is real. He continues to call Yoda, asking him to come to Dagobah to tell no one. Lawful neutral.
Yoda, my old friend, you have come at last.
When Yoda arrives in his future home, Qui-Gon explains everything. He tells Yoda the Sith have grown more powerful as the Clone Wars rages on. Tasked by the Force to combat the darkness, Qui-Gon offers to teach Yoda mastery over being a Force ghost. Lawful good.
An old friend has learned the path to immortality. Your old master.
Qui-Gon?
After Order 66 is complete, Qui-Gon continues to ensure the Jedi do not lose. Despite his lack of mastery, Qui-Gon teaches both Yoda and Obi-Wan in exile the ways of the Force. Even in the darkest moments, Qui-Gon Jinn stands with the Jedi to bring balance to the Force. Lawful good, twice. So I feel some people would probably write Qui-Gon off as a prime example of lawful stupid, a fan term used by a lot of D&D players who have dealt with annoying paladins. And on paper, Qui-Gon looks like he should fit the bill. He makes a lot of questionable decisions in the name of his faith, albeit the Force, and to the bewilderment of everyone around him. However, Qui-Gon doesn't have a perfect idea of how his faith plays out. He believes in prophecies, and the ideas that the Jedi, from his Padawan to the Council, don't see eye to eye with him is really important. He's more open-minded on that, but this also leaves him to being very sure that he's right and making decisions that do kind of come back to bite him. Arguably, Qui-Gon training Anakin caused all the problems. And if he doesn't get his way, he forces it to happen with the Jedi mind trick abuse from episode 1 until he declared to train Anakin and just kind of gave the middle finger to, the whole council after they told him no repeatedly. This leads to countless deaths in the futures. Qui-Gon is a messy character, and that's not really a bad thing, especially when he dies and becomes more of an imperfect sage for other characters. He's flawed, yes, but he's able to help guide a few Jedi and to bring the prophecy to pass. Plus, being played by Liam Neeson is a big bonus in most people's books. Anyway, what'd you guys think? Are there any other prequel characters you want us to cover, or should we cover any Jedi or Sith in particular? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you to the patrons, and may the Force be with you.